Nope. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I see I've already got a couple of questions. Let me do our opening prayer and then off we go. Oh, great spirit, Father, Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good, good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. Okay, so today's challenge, we're going to focus on safety, softness, and coming home to the body. So, one of the biggest blocks to receiving healing, receiving opportunities, receiving money is being able to hold a particular vibration, right? And that's why the masters practiced meditation, practiced prayer, practiced fasting, was they were mastering holding a particular vibration. And we talk about this a lot. We talk about holding space, we talk about holding energy, we talk about holding a particular vibe. And when it comes to holding any vibration, your body must first be clear. So if it's holding a feeling of being unsafe, anxiety, depression, fear, if you are dysregulated in the sense of if you can't be at peace or settle inside your body, if you're dissociated from your body, if you're numb, right? It's very difficult to be able to hold a specific vibration because your body's already got one. It's the same thing as trying to fill a cup that's already full. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to energetically start to clear. Hi, Maya. We're going to energetically start to clear out everything inside your physical body that's stopping you from feeling safe. We're going to do a general clearing on that. And then I'm going to dive into our readings. But teaching people to remove emotions that are layered into the body, into the aura, into the person's field so that your client is able to go to that 0 point frequency where they can then choose what they are holding and what they're vibrating is a very, very powerful tool and a very, very necessary tool in a world which has not got a lot of people programmed to basically create what somebody else thinks you should be creating instead of getting you connected to your own soul and your own mission and your own divine life purpose here on earth, and then allowing you to fully step into that power. So I'm going to call on Archangel Michael. I'm going to call on Archangel Uriel. I'm going to call on Archangel Jeremiah. And we're just going to start clearing. There we go. Nice deep breaths. A lot of you are like particularly sitting like just above your shoulders. So I want you to just drop into that big, beautiful body of yours. There we go. And we're going to give Archangel Michael permission to come in because remember, the angels need permission to work on you. And we're just going to say, I give Archangel Michael permission to intervene on my behalf, to remove psychic attack, to remove emotions that are keeping my body and my energy negatively charged, to remove the hardness, the anger, the fear that's covering up my hurt. I don't want anybody to see how hurt I am, how wounded I am, how vulnerable I am. There we go. Gosh, there's a lot of black tarry stuff coming off. Just letting it come off of your heart, your nervous system, your gut, guys. There we go. Whew. There we go. And because you've been feeling unsafe, a lot of you are sending negative energy. So you're sending anger, you're sending resentment, you're sending judgment to keep these people and these energies away. And these energies, for starters, are just not powerful enough to keep darkness away because it actually feeds it, right? Judgment, anger, rejection, hurt. These are actually food for negative energies or and people. They get energy from your suffering. So let's change sending them those vibrations to sending them love, because that's going to create detachment, and just allow Archangel Michael to come in and cut your cords to those situations and those people. There we go. Okay, that's clearing up nicely. Let me see. I'm going to jump over into the questions. Just so you guys know, before I dive into the readings, we have a lot of incredible stuff coming out this summer. We have our seven figure psychic group, which is ongoing, and people are having insane transformations. We've had people make as much as they used to make in a year, in a month. We are having people finally step into their true self, and be able to make money from that. Some of you are still asking me, can I really make money from becoming a spiritual healer and a teacher, and becoming more visible? And the answer is absolutely yes. We've got people landing their first 50K, 100K clients. It's an intimate group. It is a beautiful group. So if you feel guided, please feel free to DM me about that. We've got Medical Intuitive starting at the end of August, and we're still in early bird. So if you know you were born to heal people and you want to learn to read and scan and heal the way that I do, that's our 6-month mastermind, where we go into all the different diseases, the disease whispering, the body whispering, the ancestral karma, the nervous system regulation, the healing, all the different aspects of your subconscious, including like the inner child, the inner parents, the ancestral stuff, the really powerful instant healings. Then that's medical intuitive that you're feeling pulled to and towards. If you want to talk about either of those, I'm happy to talk to you about them inside the DMs. Um, and we have a few other programs going on. We're literally in the middle of angel healing, and it's not too late to join. We just started our attunements to the different circles of angels. Um, and we're moving into the guardian angels now. We did Archangel Michael last week, and we're going to move through all the different guardian angels moving forwards. And that is currently ongoing, but it's not too late to join us. We've still got another 4 weeks left, and that is a certification. Okay, let me jump into the readings. Okay. Maya saying, please, can you send healing to my mother? Yes, done. I'm sending in Mother Mary. I'm going to send unconditional love to your mother, darling. Okay, Sarah's saying, hi, Sky. Can I get a scan on my left shoulder and hip? I have a lot of tension in my back, and it's causing me bad posture. Also, if possible, to ask the angels the reasons why I keep losing weight. Okay, so when I'm scanning you, Sarah, around your back, like I'm keep hearing the words lack of support, lack of support, lack of support. Left is a female side, so it's feeling invisible in everything that you're contributing in your feminine energy. It's like the belief it's sexism. It's like an energy of it doesn't matter. It's just what it's like duty, self-sacrifice, loyalty. And there's just so much, exactly what we said, it's creating so much invisible tension because you're pretending you're okay with sacrificing yourself and you're not. And this tension, because hips are around moving forward, female sexuality, holding of life and of power, because hips literally like hold the womb, right? There's energy of not like feeling like, because of the lack of recognition and the amount of responsibility, you're losing yourself. You're losing your creativity, you're losing your joy, you're losing your rhythm, you're losing your capacity to move forward and step into your future with the power that you want and that you deserve. So let's bring in Archangel Raphael and do an instant healing. Oh, there we go. And let's bring in self-forgiveness because you're judging yourself for being angry and it's keeping you stuck in an anger loop. So most people that are angry because they're hurt or they're scared. So can we just allow you to be present with the part of you that's hurt and that's scared and let her feel heard? And let's just unplug her from your body and plug that wounded part of you straight into God, please. There we go. Nice and easy. Okay, and then when I tune to the weight loss, they're really showing me it's a kind of protection. It really is how you, for starters, people treat you better, depending on how much you weigh. But for you, it's a way of feeling control, like because you can't make people acknowledge you or validate you or be grateful for you. Um, Releasing the weight gets the attention in another way on an unconscious level, but it also gives you a sense of power because controlling what you eat, even unconsciously, meets the need for control. And this is starting like this. Being neglected is feeling out of control, and you're trying to get back into control and meet that need for control by controlling food. So let's just allow Archangel Raphael to download you with the truth that you are sovereign, that you are in control. There we go. And let's just release whatever part of you believes you deserve and women deserve to do all this invisible labor and this invisible work. And that we have to prove that we're good women by doing all this work. There we go. Nice and easy. It's going all, I can see your ancestral line lighting up and everyone else is lighting up like Christmas trees. So it's probably normal life for most of us and most of our previous ancestors. Let's just release that lie that we've been living as a truth and allowing to take our time and our peace and our respect for ourselves. There we go. Woo. Okay, let me see. Spiritual manifestation is saying, "Hi, Sky. I really appreciate your presence. Oh, you're welcome, darling." Um, Mona saying, "Can I have a reading too?" Okay, let me tune into Mona. Okay, Mona, so the angels are showing me that you're stuck in functional freeze. There's like you're going through the motions, but you've shut down your heart and it looks like your gut is shut down as well. So like solar plexus is closed and sacral is closed. It's like you're going through the motions. You've put on a tough face and you're going through the motions. But you're not feeling joy, you're not feeling peace, you're not it feels like you're not really breathing or being present in the moment. So let's just pour some beautiful divine golden water into your nervous system and ask for an instant healing on functional freeze. Let's download into your nervous system how to process the pain and the hurt. Okay, and can we show you the difference between shutting down and processing, between moving forward and repressing emotions? There we go. Ooh. Okay, beautiful. Okay, Purnima Singh, can I request a reading and clearing for my left back? Is it anger or a lovability wound? Both. It's anger at not being loved the way that you need to be loved, and always have to make things okay that are not okay. Um, Always having to be responsible for everything. That's a big one. So there seems to be a theme around the invisible load today. So I'm going to bring in Archangel Raphael again. We're going to ask for an instant healing. A lot of you are taking on a lot of responsibility because you know that other people won't do it as well as you. But then what's happening is you're resenting the level of responsibility, and because you're not saying no in a healthy way and taking time to put yourself first and to rest, your body's getting ill because it's then forcing you to rest. Okay, so you know when you've reached your limit, whether you like that you've reached your limit or not, whether it's right that you've reached your limit or not. You know when you've reached your limit, and it's your responsibility to stop, to breathe, and to honor that, and to say, I've had enough. I need some rest. I need a time out, you know? And a lot of you are because you're not doing that, your body is then getting sick. Okay? Because you're saying, I just want to stop. I just want to rest. And your body's like, well, no one's going to let me do that. It doesn't matter how much I speak because of the sexism. They're not going to hear me. They're not going to let me stop. They only take care of me when I'm sick. So that's what I'm going to do. Right? So if you have that pattern, yes, I see you guys lighting up. Just say yes, and we will ask Archangel Raphael to start to clear it so that you give yourself permission to stop, to rest, and to receive the support, because the world is a mirror for what's happening inside of us. So if we don't first allow ourselves to be supported by us, it's never going to manifest on the outside world. Just release that part of us that feels we're undeserving of our good, that we're undeserving of support, that we're undeserving of rest. Okay, that's looking super good. Okay, Gabriella saying, Dear Sky, could I please have a scan about Candida? What's the spiritual blockage in healing this? Many thanks. Okay, Gabriella, so Candida is about anger at neglect, and it's shifting from self sacrifice into sovereignty. Candida is all about resentment and refusing to honor your own power. It's when we allow people into our lives who just aren't able to meet our standards. They just don't have the same values. And then we're perpetually trying to fix them and heal them. Candida is very deeply connected with the rescuer archetype because it literally, like, fungus's job is to break down the things that we cannot break down. And one of the things that we struggle to break down in our psyche is our inability to nurture ourselves when it comes to a neglect wound. Neglect is an invisible form of abuse. It's very difficult to see from the outside. It's very difficult to see when you're experiencing it because they didn't do anything, right? They didn't hit you, they didn't scream at you, they just weren't there. They just didn't do. Love is love is the presence of something. Neglect is the absence of love, right? So with Candida, often it's a neglect wound that you don't see. You just internalize neglect as normal, and chances are you're neglecting yourself as well, and you're surrounded by people who believe that that's how you prove you're a good person. You sacrifice yourself, you neglect yourself, you put yourself last. It's like bing 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 bing, yep, I see you. And the heart just gets broken over and over and over again, and eventually disappointment eats you alive, right? And it doesn't change until you recognize that neglect is not normal. It is a wound. It does have consequences, right? Profound consequences. The brains of people who are neglected are just as damaged as the brains of people who were physically beaten. And neglect is the only kind of abuse that in babies can literally prevent the formation of the ability to communicate or talk for the rest of their lives. Neglect is a real form of abuse. And some of you are still experiencing it, not just from yourselves, but from other people, particularly partners, children, family systems in adulthood. And because you think it's the only way, like there's no other way, this is just normal in the family, there's nothing you can do, you're kind of normalizing it. So let's start by just healing the part of us that is willing to ignore it, gaslight it, repress it, that doesn't want to see it, that's dissociated from the amount of neglect that we're tolerating and the amount of ways that we're neglecting ourselves. There we go. Okay, there we go. And then the angels are also really showing me some of you are stuck in abusive marriages, stuck in abusive families, stuck in abusive jobs. So they want you to start saying the prayer to God that you know that you are stuck, and you know that of your own power you cannot get out of this situation, but that God makes a way where there is no way. And you know that God is going to set you free. You know that God is going to make a way where there is no way. And that's what they want you to repeat as an affirmation, as a mantra over and over and over again. There we go. And they also want you to repeat that when you are free, you're going to be free financially, emotionally, spiritually, and that God wants you to be loved and cherished and taken care of. There we go. Because you're in a double bind. When you stay, you're beating yourself up for staying and tolerating the neglect and the abusive behavior. When you leave, or when you think about leaving, you're like, I'm selfish, I'm destroying the family, and I'll never be able to be financially stable and free. It's going to be even worse than if I stayed. And then it's keeping you in a double bind. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So we've got to get you out of both. Okay. And that's what those affirmations are going to do. There we go. You can receive them as downloads. If you'd like them as downloads, just say yes. And so it is. There we go. Oh, thank you. I like green a lot, but it's very summery here today, so wrap dresses are fun. Okay, Danik is saying, hi Sky, thank you for your love and guidance. May I ask for a scan on the subject of me using my powers to release limiting beliefs by using theta healing and to dig on myself? My love, at this point, I'm doing theta healing one-to-one sessions, but I'm not teaching theta healing anymore. But also, like what I'd recommend that you do, Janica, is that you go and have a look at the theta healing book, because that tells you exactly how to release and replace beliefs during theta healing digging sessions. There's also some really good theta healing digging sessions on the YouTube channel. When I was teaching theta healing actively, it's because I've got very small babies right now, and I just can't do 3 or 4 days dedicated to a particular class. So I'm doing sessions, but I'm not doing teaching at the moment. Chris is saying, my friend was always a playboy and a cheater. He cheated on his wife and she was into spiritual stuff. She said she will give him a body that matched his inflated ego, and after 4 months he became very fat. My love, I wouldn't, whenever it comes to cursing people, because that's what that is there's everything that you put out comes back to you. The idea that you need to harm somebody from a spiritual level because they've hurt you is it's an illusion of consciousness. Men and women cheat because they have a wound, normally a lovability wound, um, hurting them, making them, making them ugly, treating them badly, especially, whatever you put out comes back to you. I don't ever recommend cursing anybody or hurting anybody using your spiritual powers. You've been warned. I know that there's like lots of people that do that, but I'm just saying it's not good juju. I would literally recommend that you remove that curse from him, ask for karmic absolution and for divine forgiveness, because trust me, you don't want that stuff coming back onto you. Um, Tiny's saying, can I please have a scan on my skin, Sky? It's very reactive at the moment. Thank you. So when I'm scanning your skin, Tanya, they're immediately taking me to, oh, this is actually really interesting. They're immediately taking me to copper. And they're showing me you have some sort of a copper deficiency, and they're showing me some sort of a zinc deficiency as well. I would get yourself some of that sun cream that has like zinc oxide in it. And I would be taking my, they're showing me the sea moss. I would be taking my sea moss. And then they're taking me to your liver. They're showing me like, start taking the liver herbs again, particularly the dandelion root. Okay, Doville saying, hi Sky, my life is going under reconstruction, personal and career wise. I feel lost. Can you please give me a scan and guidance? Okay, let's have a look at Doville. Okay, so this is a self-belief wound, Doville, and I'm really hearing your Archangel Shamuel coming through, because this is all about your heart. And you've been conditioned to believe that loving unconditionally means having no boundaries, no standards, no needs, no desires. And that means you've attracted people in work-wise and relationship-wise that didn't treat you well. And you tolerated it for far too long. And that means you lost trust in yourself and belief in life. So it's kind of like you asked God to remodel the house, but he ended up knocking it down because he's building a new house from the ground up. Your belief in what love is changing. So can we give you Creator's perspective, definition, understanding of what love is? That love is not control, love is not neglect, love is not self-abandonment, love is not sex, love is not praise, love is not attention. There we go. Whew. And then there's a belief that if you let God in, he's going to take love away. No, if you let God in, God will take all illusions of love away. There are lots of people and lots of energies that when you have a deep lovability wound, can tell that you are bleeding, can tell that you are hurting, and they know that what you want the most is love. So they'll tell you that they're giving you love, and instead they'll give you fear, they'll give you pain. Okay, what God does when you ask for love is he removes everything that is an obstacle to that love coming into your life, and he makes space in your heart, in your mind, in your body for you to receive true love. That is what God does. And sometimes that feels like what you said, the world is shaking underneath us. Sometimes that feels like everything that we understood is being taken away, because sometimes the structures that we built, like we were talking about, how sometimes the structures that you built energetically were never made to be able to hold love, and we're making you vulnerable to beings that wanted to use you and call it love. And there's a lot of that in the world. It's even in Course in Miracles that we want to steal from people energetically, emotionally, physically. We want them to be a band-aid on our wounds, and we call it love. Right? Whenever we want somebody to make us happy, whenever we're going for somebody for somebody because they regulate our nervous system, whenever we're only being with somebody because they make us feel good, we're energetically using that person, right? We're not thinking of it that way, but that's what's happening. Unless you lean on God, you end up leaning inappropriately on other people. So let's remove all the different ways in which you were leaning inappropriately on other people. And let's show you that God doesn't take away the people that love you. God brings people that love you, and he takes away anybody that was lying to you about their capacity to love. Can we release your need to fall in love with people's potential and instead allow you to see where they really are, what they're really capable of? There we go. And so it is. Okay. I'm going to do one more reading, guys. Okay, Claire Gorman saying, happy to have a scan or a message in business glow up. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so they're really taking me to your heart, Claire, and they're showing me sitting on the beach. They're showing me holding like crystals, and they're showing me really allowing your heart to open, like practice keeping your heart open for like actually the number they're showing me the number 44. So like 44 minutes a day, like practicing holding your heart open. Energetically, it's like your heart is opening, closing, and they want you to practice keeping your heart open. There we go, so that you can receive on a much higher level. And they're showing me like you've been manifesting so much that it's like so much of the opportunities are waiting to come in, but because your heart's opening, closing, it's like it's they're like they come and then they collapse. Not like they go away, but it's like you accept one or two opportunities and then the opportunities stop and then you open your heart again and then a few more opportunities come in. It's almost like when you accept an opportunity, you energetically stop yourself from allowing others to come in. So by practicing opening and holding your heart open, the opportunities are just going to keep coming in a steady flow. And um people are just going to be able to tap into that energy on a very deep level. And the same thing with your business, like open your business's heart and make that heart opening connected to all that is, as opposed to connected to the environment. We have to make the heart sovereign, as opposed to the heart be like at the mercy of the environment, or the heart be at the mercy of um other people. The heart has to be sovereign. There we go. So let's just bring the power back into your heart and bring the power back into the heart of your business through creator of all that is. And there we go. Okay, let me do our closing prayer. Oh, great Spirit, Father, Sky, Mother, Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted, to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste.